Hello and welcome to From My Basement in Tulsa. I'm Jason Ferguson, and I'm also super excited to have my good friend Dustin Storm here. What's up, dude?
Am I supposed to still be quiet?
No, you're good now. You can
Sorry,
you can make plenty of noise. You can celebrate.
Rules of the podcast.
Welcome to the celebration basement.
Can't say podcast without it making the puh sound.
Yeah, should have put on that pop filter.
You're kind of an odd cast anyway.
Yeah, man. So Dustin Storm is in a band called All About a Bubble, and it's one of my favorite Tulsa bands. Probably, let me think for a second. Who else would be my favorite Tulsa band? I think it's All About a Bubble. I hate to sound fangirlish.
It's kind of dicey.
But you're
making these claims.
You're sitting right here, so I can't think of anybody else. So you're definitely my favorite band in Tulsa.
You're definitely my favorite band in the basement.
Oh, for sure. Way to bring it down some. I like that. So, but All About a Bubble has been gone for a while. What have you been doing, man? I'm really excited to tell people these stories.
We went to Ohio and finished up the record at a studio called Vibe Studios. And we got to do some photo shoots and a video shoot out on Lake Erie. So we're just waiting to get some of that stuff back.
That's cool. Vibe Studio, was it really hippie? Was it decorated like hippies inside? I feel like it'd be like Vibe Studio.
Yeah, it was cool. It was kind of, it's not the prettiest room, but it had a cool vibe. There's bunk beds and, I mean, it was pretty legit, but it definitely wasn't the classiest of places.
Because
it was rock and roll.
It's called Vibe, man. It's gotta have that, vibes.
Yeah, we got to work with an engineer named John Burke up there. He was a real cool dude.
Sounds cool. Sounds like it'd be an important person.
Yeah, John Burke, solid American name.
Yeah, America. I can see that. But are you super happy with how it turned out? Tell me about the recording process. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was cool because we normally record ourselves, and it was nice to get to kick back and get somebody else's feedback, somebody that's in the industry and that knows what they're doing. He's had a lot of cool records coming out of his studio, and it was just kind of cool to work with somebody else and get their input. And I don't want to talk technical nerd talk, but
no, yeah, let it out.
But I mean, just like he had a lot to teach us about harmonies and things like that. Like we were singing in forest, and he would make us try things that were out of our comfort zone, and some things worked, some things didn't. So it was cool though. It was cool. It wasn't on our dime, so it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What do you think the biggest change was? What's something you learned from having somebody like that?
Man, that's a good question. I think just being open to things out of our comfort zone was the biggest change, because we kind of gotten pigeonholed in our own little world. So having somebody try things that we wouldn't have thought of trying, or that we would dismiss on our own. Like if I threw an idea out there, we'd be like, no, that won't work. But having somebody else bring it up, and maybe not knowing him as well, not being as comfortable, kind of makes you be like, yeah, let's try it, and then actually it works. So
yeah. Did he tell you anything about singing? Here's what I think about singing and hearing super professional pop albums. Nobody sounds like they're trying. Not in a bad way. It just sounds like everything they do, no matter how crazy it is, it sounds like they just spit it out. But live, you can see them working their ass off. And I wonder, did he?
Yeah, that actually that was probably the biggest experience for me. Was here at home, I'll do a couple of takes and just be like, okay, that was the best of the take. And up there, you take it line by line, and then they really dig into what the feel. You'll do 2 or 3 takes of a line, and they'll judge you from where you're singing, whether it was too nasally or too harsh, or I mean, it's kind of no here we're all friends.
You're singing out your ass, Dustin.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's just kind of no punches, because they don't have that personal worry. Like in our studio, Luke might tell me, that was good enough, man, because he didn't want to hurt my feelings or something, but there they didn't care. But they were right, and you're right. It comes out sounding a lot more natural and less forced.
I think I wanted that in my album. I don't know. Shit, I didn't know what I wanted. But you can tell. There's some things you can listen whoa, that dude's squeezing all he has. But that meant I only had 1 or 2 takes in me before my voice was just gone.
Yeah, it was tough. I don't know if you ever seen La Bamba, when he's just doing take after take, and his throat's on fire. It was a full 9-10 hours just singing. It was an entire day devoted to just laying vocals for 3 songs.
Well,
so.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was different for me.
Well, can you imagine having spent, like, you're on the last line of the last song, and all of a sudden you've been doing this take, and then just forget the word?
Oh man, you start overthinking. That's another side. You just start thinking about like what you're saying, like because they tell you, sing from your diaphragm, and like I don't know what the fuck that means. You know what I mean? Like
Squeeze it out, man.
yeah, and they're like sing from your head, sing from, and I'm like singing from all these different places. I'm like I sing from my mouth. Like
Yeah.
I don't really like. I've never taken voice lessons. I don't know what you're talking about. So you do like you start to. Like sometimes you go backwards on a take, that like you'll get really close and they'll be like, that was so close, do it again, but you don't really even know what you did.
Yeah.
Like it was just luck, man. I was just throwing it out there. So
I can imagine singing my songs for 9 hours and overthinking the lyrics. Like, I changed my mind. This lyric is really dumb.
yeah,
I figure like,
yeah, that's a big part of it too, is getting too technical with it and getting detached from the lyrics. You get to worry so much about how it sounds that you're singing that you forget like what you're singing about. So that was kind of a fine line too. I think we went back and listened to some takes, and I thought they needed to be a little uglier, than they were. They had them a little too pretty, and so I had to find a balance between like what they thought was like perfection and what I thought was perfection, because it's really just kind of a matter of personal taste. Like I don't mind slipping out of key a little bit here and there and a voice crack or something, but like they wanted it perfect for the most part.
well, hopefully, I mean, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I hope
so. I like to think so. We'll see. But you're happy with it, how it turned out?
Yeah, it was definitely cool.
That's what matters, man. I was thinking we should incorporate that into our daily lives. Like when something happens, just write the song about it. Like, oh, this girl hurt me bad. Write the song about it. Get that there, and then sit and sing it for 9 hours straight. And I bet you'll be over it entirely.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, you hate your music. After you're in the studio, like you don't go home and throw your CD on. You listen to it,
whatever,
critique
man.
it, and I throw yours on. But
no, man, I had such like good dudes playing on my album, and I let them do whatever they wanted. So I didn't even know how to. I had like an idea, but I say like 3 words, and I'm like, oh, I guess I kind of know what you mean, and then they would write stuff to it, and I was so like a lot of the times. It's a new song to me. It's weird to see that I'm playing exactly the same thing I play over and over and over again in acoustic shows, but then hearing a band with it, because I've been practicing with a band the past few weeks, and it's like, oh yeah, this song can be really cool.
Yeah, I think that was the most exciting part about your album coming out, was hearing what, like, because I knew most of the musicians that played on it and how good they were and how they all came together. Still one of my favorite albums. I still think it might be the best album that anybody's put out around here in a long time. So,
thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, fangirling.
Oh, it's okay. I'm fangirling all about a Buble. Man, I'm so stoked for you guys. It kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like maybe we've just been busy and a year has passed, but it was just like 2 weeks ago we were playing at the Shrine for 3 people, acoustic, and then going to the Center of the Universe and playing for more homeless people than we played at our gig. And now you guys have got some big stuff coming up, man.
Yeah, it's cool. We've kind of been keeping it under wraps, honestly. Like we've known what was going on for about 6 or 7 months, just waiting for it all to get tied together. Like the studio was booked 6 months ago, and they're just booked so far out. We knew about it. We knew it was coming, but we didn't know what would come of it or how it would turn out. But I'm glad it's finally here, and it's all it's like 6 months worth of behind the scenes work like coming to fruition all at once.
I don't know how that works, because anything I do ever is just I thought of it and now it's happening, like just like that. No planning goes into really any of my decisions ever. So that's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something to be said for impulsiveness too.
It's gotta be controlled sometimes, though.
Right. I write impulsively, but then as far as the business side of things, it kind of sucks because you have to think like a business.
Yeah, and your band, I think you guys go well. Musically, meh, but as friends, just kidding. As friends, you guys are like, you hang out all the time. So going on tour really isn't going to be, I don't think, too much different. You already spend enough time.
Yeah, I mean, it was 17 hours to Ohio, like there and back, and like, we got along really well. So I mean, we were stuck with each other for 10, 11 days. We were inseparable. So but yeah, friends first.
I think that's probably the best.
There's no egos. That's the problem, and I mean that could be our downfall too. Like nobody nobody wants the center of attention.
It's cool, man.
Like I begged for Luke to be at the front of the photographs
because Luke's beautiful,
right?
I mean, you're an attractive man, but Luke, good grief.
Right.
Ladies, look him up. You're gonna love this band. But yeah, did you guys do anything cool besides recording at the Sweet Vibes studio?
Yeah, and we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and like I felt like a crybaby. Like I was just seeing all the things that I grew up on, you know, like just like old Motown stuff. I saw the first guitar ever made, and it was just insane.
I completely interrupting, but the other day I found a live concert from the Temptations on YouTube. Maybe you've seen it 1,000 times, but like I had to stop what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, I better watch this hour-long concert. It was weird because they were old, and it was like in '83.
There's been a lot of incarnations of the Temptations. I don't know if any of the original members are there.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
They have a whole section at the Hall of Fame devoted to them though, and it was really cool. Like seeing all the old outfits and like James Brown's like sex onesie. So it was pretty cool.
Well, shoot, man. Now I'm not as fascinated by that. Now I have to look up and see who's playing. I mean, it was like an old. It was at Harrah's Casino or something like that.
Maybe in '83 they were still together. I don't know. I think some of them have passed.
Oh,
don't hold me to it. Wikipedia.
Yeah, I don't. It's not an important fact to.
I just feel like I saw them at Mayfest one year and like a carnival the next year, and it was a different group of dudes. They could have just not aged gracefully. I don't know.
Whoever has the name still.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but it was cool seeing them. But go on, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much stuff. It's 6 stories. We did that right before we went to do a photo shoot, and like a monsoon like hit. Like we were right on, like it sits right on the coast of Lake Erie, and basically like it just flooded the entire downtown area on our way out. So I mean, that was part of the adventure. Was we didn't have time to go back to the hotel. We looked like drowned rats, so we had to go strip down to our underwear at a laundromat and dry our clothes and shoes and stuff before the photo shoot. But it was cool.
Oh wow! Right before the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, what a perfect time for a monsoon. How long does that last? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know. We were probably outdoors for 20 seconds, and like it looked like we jumped in a lake. So
I have to Google videos of monsoons to fully catch the.
It was pretty intense. And then LeBron came back. We were in Akron, Ohio. Like it's where he's from, where the Cavs are from, and it was crazy because he announced it, and then like an hour later, all the billboards in the city had changed over to LeBron James billboards. It was pretty intense.
That's cool how fast that can happen.
Yeah, we got to take in a Yankees game in Cleveland. So
I bet you that didn't suck very much.
No, it was pretty cool.
Badass. And then, cool, man.
The food was amazing in Ohio.
Important.
Yeah, there was a gourmet grilled cheese restaurant. They had the Melts, I think they were called, for a shout out. But it was a little hipster, kind of reminded me of like Joe Mama's or something. But
yeah,
like they had the Godmother, and it was a triple layered grilled cheese with lasagna in the middle. Pretty amazing.
I don't know if it's the same, but Josh from Food Trucks was talking about how they are having a gourmet grilled cheese food truck happening. I think it may have already happened.
Yeah, they've got big shoes to fill.
Yeah, so maybe it's the same. I mean, there's a chance.
Josh makes good food.
Yeah, everything, like all the food trucks are badass. So I can't imagine it would suck. But so there's hope that you can get a triple lasagna gourmet grilled cheese.
If not, we can have a date night.
Yeah, we'll just make it. Record a podcast while we do it. So then on top of the album, you have a tour announced. I actually just shared that. I saw the picture show up on my newsfeed, and you'd been talking to me about a tour. You're like, yeah, man, it's going to be super amazing. And I was like, yeah, it probably is. But then I saw the picture, and like when you see all the days, or some of the days, I guess, on a picture, it's like, oh, man, that's nuts. I mean, that's more shows than I've booked in a year, all in one little picture right there.
Yeah. Well, like for me, like the only time I've ever traveled like more than 3 or 4 hours away from Tulsa is that trip we just took to Cleveland. That was like my first vacation in life, like in period.
Yeah.
At all. And so like now like getting to go see like New York City and like Philadelphia and Boston and like all those places that you've seen in pictures your whole life, and then like the tour is going to end in Vegas.
Oh man.
So like it's it's gonna be pretty sweet, man. Like it's surreal. It doesn't seem like it's really happening. We've known about it for a really long time. We knew it was gonna happen, and we had kind of a list of the dates, and they were just making tweaks. So we've been super pumped up to announce it. But yeah, I can't believe it's happening.
That's crazy, man. I'm very excited for you guys. That's the shit.
Yeah, it'd be cool, man. Makes that van payment worth it.
Yeah. Well, you bought it. You might as well use it.
Right?
Does if you don't use it, you lose it apply here?
Yes.
I mean, I guess if you don't play shows in it and make the van payment, you kind of lose it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like we were talking about that, and like if they come to repo it, like are they going to drive to New York City? Like,
Probably not.
Come see me. We won't be home. We'll be gone like half of a 4-month period. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make them pay admission and to come get the keys. I don't know if they repo and they come get the keys, but that'd be hilarious. Like, yeah, it's backstage. You got to pay to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, so good.
While you're up there and recording, what songs did you do? Are they ones we've heard here in Tulsa, or is there new?
Actually, one was a cover. Like we just kind of did like for fun, so we could play around with it. And then one was. Because it was all just like our album's done, like it's been done for a long time, but we've had all this, I guess you would call it the business side of things, like is why we kind of like things have to unroll in a certain order, and so we've been holding off on putting the album out. But we wanted to experiment with a song off the first record, so we did a song called "Everything You Want" because we want to see what the difference between what we do at home and what the difference is like whenever you work with a producer. We wanted to have like A and B to compare, and there's definitely when you bring it back home, there's things you like that we do in our studio, and then there's things that we like that they brought. So it just showed us that like working with other people can definitely bring you ideas.
Yeah,
so,
for
and
sure.
then we recorded like we're so OCD though. I mean, we probably have 15 different versions of every song that's going to be on the new album. Like I think one song has 19 different versions. Like, sometimes we'll just go in crazy directions. But one of the songs we have that's coming out on the album is kind of electronic. But like we kind of stripped it down and made it more full band while we were up there, just to have something different and try it. But I mean, like I say, it was just cool having that freedom to be in the studio for 10 hours a day for 8 or 9 days. Like you get that time that you don't get like here at home. You got to go to work or whatever, and then you're tired. But like up there, like it's just wake up. Like we would get to the studio at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and like just be there all day. So you have plenty of downtime to like sit there and listen to somebody else laying their parts and tinker around, and like it becomes your job, And,
yeah.
But it's a fun job. It doesn't
Sure.
get any more exciting than that. So
yeah, I can't even consider like that's your thing. That's what you're doing this week. We're recording. I can't imagine having just that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was tough to come back home. Like after that, like I think I had like a 4 or 5 day like adjustment period where I was almost depressed. Like
I'm sure
in a weird way, because like you go up there and you're not necessarily the excitement at like being the center of attention, but just being at the center of what you love to do, and like having people work with you and work for you, like a video crew, and going to like really cool locations like along the ocean, and like having people like plot out your video for you and like bouncing ideas off of other people, like you're just living what you love. And then you come back home and you gotta go to work, or just at your crappy house again or something, and you're like you just like you can't stop thinking about like the week before. So it's definitely an adjustment, and like I think it'll be that same way when we're on tour, because we'll be out for a few weeks at a time and then home for a few weeks at a time, and I don't know, it's different though. It's a start.
I'm sure it'll be motivating though.
Like, it is. Yeah, you can't.
Whatever there is, you have to do.
I'm over motivated right now. Like I'm so pumped about like writing more music that I can't write anything. I mean, it's like it's really unnatural right now.
I hate that feeling, man. When you're just trying to write a song just to write a song.
Right.
It's like, man, I gotta set my guitar down. I can't do that.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like we haven't got into it on the podcast, but like the people we're working with, this. Discussion about like working with other songwriters or like moving to music towns like Nashville and stuff and becoming part of songwriting teams and stuff like that. Like we're just learning a lot of how the industry works, and it's tough. Like when you write a song to like hear somebody say, "Hey, would you be willing to take that to our songwriting team in Nashville?" And and see if they can add something to it or something. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, they didn't live that, But
Yeah.
But then again, maybe if somebody listens to it, they can write empathetically, and maybe they'll bring something to it that I didn't think of. So
Yeah, I can see that. And most feelings you're going to write about, somebody else has felt too. And I think it'd be a good idea, like an awesome idea, to have other people that have been working on it for a while say,
yeah,
hey, try
I just
this
don't,
too.
I don't think it can hurt. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like all it can do is like be worse. And then
Yeah,
if
well-
it is, then you don't use it.
Yeah, you're like, you just don't use it. Yeah, I was going to say, no, I don't want to use that.
So,
No, your idea sucks. I'm keeping mine.
Yeah.
I don't care if you write $1 million songs. I'm out.
right. So that's just been the craziest part over the last like couple of months, is just like learning how things work. Like you're
Like stepping inside the real machine.
yeah, like looking at a picture, whenever one guy in the band is 5'2" and the other 6'2", like and then you look at the picture and like I'm the tall one, like so. I mean, there's little tricks of the trade, but man, I guess like seeing is believing. Who knows? I don't know. It's different, but I've been at this for a long time, so I guess there's compromise.
I guess personally, I don't look at it that way. I mean, I guess with myself and my pictures, I think about it that way. But when I see a band, like I really don't judge them that way. But apparently, I mean,
I guess
I don't
people
know.
do. I guess people do.
By the time I look up a band, I've probably already heard them, and I'm probably just looking to see. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a weirdo.
Yeah.
Which,
well, I mean, we're both a little off the cuff anyway.
yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I think sometimes if somebody's too pretty, it almost works to their disadvantage.
I actually love seeing really ugly people succeed.
Right.
I love that. I'm trying to think of an example, but then I'll feel bad for saying that person's
Right.
really ugly. Like this band, All About a Bubble, their singer. Just kidding, man.
Old and decrepit. Don't worry.
Man, I saw him walk out. It was a walker, and it was beautiful. I was like, man, way to go. Stick at it.
The best part of the conversations is like whenever the powers that be, like in a nice way. I mean, they're just keeping it real, but like they tell you, you need to lose weight, or hey, we need to get a stylist on you, things like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think about that. I mean, I'm just a guy that likes to write songs and play music, and I think, well, my friends like me for who I am, but like,
Yeah.
but like if strangers are gonna be listening to your music, they have to have that impression. I guess that's
Yeah,
the difference.
I can see that.
They don't know I'm a nice guy, like
Mhm.
they don't know anything about me. Like,
And obviously, the prettier you are, the nicer you are.
right? Yeah.
That's just real.
But yeah, and I think it depends on the kind of music. But I do think like sometimes if you're too pretty, even if like you can almost work against you.
Yeah.
know? Like people think that you might just be the face of something out of the machine.
Yeah. I'd still be okay with that.
Luke Cronister is an exception.
Man, that dude's been working hard. And I mean, I guess all of you guys. I've seen you in bands for 600 years. I don't know if you want me to say all the band names you guys are in, but it's cool. You guys, I remember seeing everybody in separate bands, and then all of a sudden you guys are all one band. I'm like, well, that's cool. And then I had a second guess. Like, wait, were they always just this band? I don't know. I don't remember when's the first time I saw All About a Bubble.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna work. Like, if I'm being honest, like I write real similar to you. Like kind of like folky, slowed down, like ballads about
Cheesy,
how
lame.
I can't keep a girlfriend and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, then Luke like writes these like epic pop songs that like you could hear on the radio at any given moment. And so it was kind of like I think this second album is like the first time that we've captured like what we're like together. Like we've molded. It's got a little bit of you can just tell we learned how to work like with each other as opposed to against each other. Like I would bring a song to the studio, and then Luke would do what Luke does, and like he'd make it awesome. And I'm super proud of the first record. I think it was a blast to make, and I think I've had so much fun playing the shows live. But that's something also on the second record. Like it's you've been to the shows, like it's kind of sing-songy. I mean, you jump up on stage with us and sing randomly at times.
Especially drunk.
I'll hear a strange harmony, and I'll be like, I'll look over, and then you're on stage with us out of nowhere. But I think, that's one of our biggest worries is that like this album might be just a tad bit on the serious side for us, and like not quite as sing-songy, But
yeah.
But I'm excited to put it out and just kind of see what people's reaction is.
I think people love it. I don't know. I mean, I would rather hear that. Whatever happens from what you guys are feeling and working on, I feel like that's what we should see. Not necessarily. I'm glad you didn't go up and get a producer and he's like, yeah, your music's cool, but let's add this and make it just something you guys wouldn't do normally.
Yeah, it was. We were actually like the biggest worry that we had, because like we had kind of done our scouting to see like what kind of records the guy made and stuff, and like a lot of it was heavier and a little screamier than what we do, and so we weren't sure where it was going to go. But like it was cool because like I guess you have a good producer whenever they just try to bring out the best in you. You know what I mean? Rather than like trying to make you what they want you to be.
Oh man, is that what producer means?
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh, like mine's breaking right now.
Yeah, but it was cool because like they just kind of wanted to like get into like where you're coming from when you're writing it, and like they worked really hard to actually like get the emotion of the song across. And I was afraid of like kind of what you talk about, like it's gonna come out and sound like a One Direction song, which all One Direction songs are awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And
especially ones they wrote, I was surprised. I mean,
I didn't know they wrote any of their own music.
This could be false, but I've been told their newest album, their members got to write it instead of whoever was writing their songs before. And I was like, really? Because of what I've heard, I've loved. I think I listened to the whole album once, but I didn't really pay that much attention. But the songs that I hear all the time, I'm like, heck yeah, I love this. And also, have you heard more importantly, Weird Al's new stuff?
No, but I keep hearing about Weird Al's
new stuff.
new stuff.
Oh my goodness. A lot of songs I didn't know, but he took Lord's Royals and he made it about aluminum foil, and it's the most amazing thing. I listened to it 3 times today, and that's a lot for one song.
Yeah, that should be our outro tune. How much do you have to pay Weird Al for that?
I don't know, probably a lot. I've looked.
Maybe you can just sing it.
I've looked up the rules. Maybe when you meet somebody that knows what they're doing, you can ask them questions, but Google isn't really clear, and you can't really trust that stuff. But I guess there's a website you can pay, and you get a list of songs that you can play. You just like pay a certain amount, like a.
Yeah, we were dealing with that. Like I said,
Netflix for licensing thing.
Yeah, we recorded that cover while we were up there, and we're like, man, that'd be cool to be like a bonus track, or like we'll just like we were kind of like we brought a bunch of GoPros with us, and like, we were gonna put a little montage together and like just use that as like the background music, to kind of show our experience while we were out in Cleveland. And then like we were looking it up, and we're like, man, we can't even like just for free YouTube that bit, like like it's $500 just to like play that song, or even though we're just covering it. But so yeah, I don't know all the rules either, but we looked into it recently. And
luckily, most of the podcasts have been bands, so they let me to play their songs, and they've all been good songs. So I've gotten lucky so far. But I when I was first thinking about doing a podcast, I thought about maybe when there wasn't a musician there, like playing a cover song at the end myself. I don't think I can even do that. It's weird because it's downloaded. If it was streaming, it's pretty easy. But since people can download the podcast and take it and do what they want with it, I guess there's some weird licensing thing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Somebody somewhere is getting paid. It's not us.
Yeah, somebody smart has to know. So, and I just feel weird stealing people's stuff, even if they wouldn't care. But then when I think about it, for me, if I just listen to some random podcast and like, hey, check out this song I found, and it was mine, I'd be like super pumped about it.
I can't remember what morning show was. It was 2 bands ago for me, but it was a nationally syndicated like radio show, and they sent us an email telling us like because they would support unsigned bands, you know, and they sent us an email and told us like 6 weeks from now on this date at this time we're gonna play your song, and we were so excited, and then so we tuned in and we listened to it, and like they just bagged on the song the whole time.
Oh no, man!
They're like, man, this is the shittiest band. Because at the time, like the Tulsa World had wrote that we were like Tulsa's best kept secret. Like that was the headline. You know? And
I hope they had a good line for that.
So we
keep it a secret. Did they say that?
Yeah, something along those lines.
I'm sorry,
they're
man.
like, if that's the best kept secret, like keep it a secret. Like. But I mean, it was kind of funny, I mean, you take how it is. You take your lumps, and you can't get upset if somebody doesn't like your music. I don't even like all the songs that we do. You know what I mean? Like, I get tired of them, I get sick of them, and I have some I like and some I don't.
When I released my album, I was going crazy, just doing whatever I could to get input and just whatever, trying to get my album anywhere I could. So I paid Reverb Nation for their, like, you can pay them like I think $10 or something silly. And they'll send your song out to hundreds of people, and you'll get back reviews. And the point was, if you got like a certain rating, they would feature your song on the front of Reverb Nation. So you pay $10, get a bunch of reviews, hear what people think, and then if it's gets a point like 8.0 rating, you get featured. I think I got really close to 8.0 on my song "Set That Girl Free."
Yeah,
And
it's a solid record, man.
but I feel like it was cheap, like 7.999. Really, but some of the reviews, I could tell
they just want you to pay that other $10. You're like, I got so close. I got that next
try
song.
another song. Yeah. Well, the reviews I was reading through, and most of them are really good. And like some girls, you don't see their pictures, but you just assume it's a girl. It's like, oh man, this song made me fall in love again, and I believe
her name's
in love
Nicole,
again.
so she's got to be hot.
Right. But there's this one. I'm assuming a guy was like, what is this song about? Because in the lyrics, it says, it's about setting that girl free, which is the name of the song. But it's like, I believe you're
I've
hiding.
heard it.
Oh yeah, well maybe people that are listening haven't heard it, but it's talking about how a girl. I thought she was hiding herself, and I think there was a sweet girl behind what she was trying to be, and so I say the sweetest little girl is a line of the song, and so he's like, is he singing about little girls? Is this guy a pedophile? And he's like, he shouldn't be singing. He's probably so ugly. And I was like, man, like, wow. And that's the only one I remember, which is weird. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess I've been at it so long now that like I think I did like you. I mean, everyone thinks their songs are cool. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But like, I mean, you wouldn't play them for people if you didn't think they were decent. But I think now, like, I just hit a point where, like, I almost thrive off of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird, but like, it just means you're doing it right. You know what I mean? Like, because not everybody's gonna love it. You know what I mean? But
I think too that sells more. If you're mouthing something that goes bigger than, like, if I was a radio show and I was like, oh, I really love this band, check it out. Obviously, people are gonna like it, but you're gonna remember that one band that, or maybe not the band, but you're gonna remember that what they said about that one band, like, oh, this is a piece of crap, keep it a secret.
right.
Like, to some people, like, I'm hurt for you, but if I was in that town, I'd be like, oh, fuck that band, that's hilarious as shit. So it's, I don't know, I'm trying to evaluate stuff. I have no clue how it works, but I'm also kind of,
you just win some and lose some.
yeah. But man, I was laughing so hard. It was supposed to be hurtful, but man, I was just,
it was crazy how spot on he was.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was like, man, how did he know?
like you're just this hideous, terrible creature that loves little girls.
Man, nope, all that's getting deleted. I was gonna say this hideous little creature next, but yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't care. That's funny. But yeah, bad reviews are just, I don't know. You have to listen to some of them, but I think since 90% of them were, what a great song, it's so beautiful, but that one dude just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because I think earlier, I guess is a better word, in your career, like you're somebody talks shit about your music and you like take it a little personal, but like then as you like grow as a songwriter, you listen back and you're like, oh man, I'm really embarrassed that like I even showed that to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, so like you're like those dudes are right, or you know, I think when you're younger, you try to justify it. And you're like, well, yeah, but people like Lady Gaga, and that's bullshit music. You know what I mean? So, like, it's like you justify it, but like I think like as I've gotten a little more exposure, you know what I mean? We're still just like everyone else around Tulsa. But
my favorite, or the example I'm thinking of for that now, is one of my Kane shows. I was opening for a country band. I opened for a couple country bands, so I don't know which one it was. But there was a big crowd in front of the stage, and my brother was there, and he was towards the back of the crowd. And I guess a couple ladies were like, I don't want to hear this whiny crap. This isn't country. I'm leaving. We're going to the bathroom to get something to drink. And my brother was so mad about it. He came up to me afterward. I can't believe they said that. And I was like, oh, you're missing the picture, man. Like, they left, but if all the crowd had left, that'd be different. But I mean,
right.
A couple people hating my songs isn't a big deal to me.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like when people like your brother and stuff like take things so personal for you because they believe in you so much. I mean, kind of like the Facebook debacle recently for us. Like we weren't really involved in it, but like people were really passionate about us not winning a competition. You know what I mean? Like and like it was
really
crazy.
Cool to see.
Yeah, it's cool. Like 'cause I'm like, thank you, for sticking up for us, but just guide that anger somewhere positive.
Yeah. I don't think I really have any more stories like that. I'm sure it happens, but I see people talking trash on Facebook, and I'm like jealous a little bit because I don't get any of that. I mean, I'm literally asking for it right now. Say some shit on the Facebook. I don't care. I want to see it. Like I don't know why I'm like that, but I'm a little bit jealous. Like when somebody's talking like total trash on something on Facebook, if it's unwarranted. That's what I'm talking. Trolls. I don't have trolls, and I would like to see that for some reason. If you're being serious and you hate my stuff, do that.
I will
private message for that.
I will troll you so hard.
Yeah. Please do. I don't know why. It's gonna happen one time. I'm gonna cry about it on the next podcast. Somebody said such a mean thing on the From a Basement in Tulsa Facebook, and then that's still funny too. That's fine. But I saw that today, and somebody posted an article, and somebody just started talking trash on it, and it wasn't even. I don't know why. It has to be some kind of weird jealousy thing, or it was the problem they had wasn't even a real problem. That's the kind of trolling I want. I don't want to have to fix anything. I want to be able to blow it off. I want to be able to delete the comment, block the person, and move on, because I feel like that's an authority I need.
I can see the appeal.
Yeah, like, oh, screw that guy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, the world's full of crazy people, and like when they get behind a computer screen, like they're brave. They're very brave.
Yeah, I hear a lot of talk about that, on whether it's a good or bad thing. I don't know.
I think it's cool. It keeps it interesting.
Yep.
Like, I mean, a lot of times they're just saying the things that we're thinking.
True.
So, I mean, sometimes you do think a band is bullshit, you know? Like,
yeah, but I would never say that. Well, my take on that is, if you think the band is bullshit, just don't be involved with the band. Like, that's
right. Yeah.
There's so much music, and there's so many people.
That's kind of our approach towards the music scene here in Tulsa. Is like everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, something we don't like get is like competition. Like, it's cool to have like fun, friendly competition or something.
Yeah.
But like, aren't you just more excited? You know, like when bands do something good. You know, like you're like, hell, like you should use it as inspiration. Like that's so cool. Like, I mean, like Summit, when they went on tour, I was like, that's so cool, man. I'm so excited that I'll get to do that soon too.
I freaking love the dudes in Summit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I played with them 2 nights in a row. One time in Oklahoma City, and we came back and played here. And that's the first time I really got to hang out with them for more than 5 or 10 minutes at a show, you know? Freaking good dudes.
Yeah, we got to catch some of their sets down in Austin at South by. And, I mean, they killed it, man. Like they got really good crowd response, like, every time they played. So I was happy for those boys.
The drummer was supposed to troll me on Reddit. I just remembered he was supposed to. I've asked him for this before, apparently.
Well, we'll see which band is of their word after this, won't we? Well, I'm pre-internet era, so I don't know if I even know what Reddit is.
It's the weird site. It's cool.
I think I went on it once and it was just super confusing.
Yeah.
Like I think you have to be on the end, like, to know.
No, I don't know anything about it, and I still like it. You just have to find what you're interested in and subscribe to that. And then if it's stuff you don't care about.
So is there a Jason Ferguson Reddit?
No.
There could be soon.
Nah. I posted like my podcast was on there, and like when I released it, and I got a bunch of like people still. It was a couple months ago now, and people still message me.
Is that when you screwed up and like posted like a wrong link or something? Like,
no, what happened?
Didn't you like just blow your launch altogether?
Entirely. It wasn't entirely my fault. But what happened is somebody else bought my domain name for me. FromABasementInTulsa.com is hosted on JasonFergusonMusic.com. So we launched FromABasementInTulsa.com. Is that what Jeff Dunham? Yeah. And then I bought the Jason Ferguson music thing from him. A guy bought my cousin Adam bought it for me years ago. He was like, he's into the internet, and I'm still behind. He's like, you're going to want this one day, so I'm just gonna reserve it. It's $10 a year. When you need it, come get me. And so we were having trouble getting my name into my name, which is weird. So, but like as soon as we launched the From a Basement in Tulsa thing, it happened. So then it took like a full week for it to transfer all the way, for it to work again. It was like seriously 5 minutes after we launched the website, it went down for 2 weeks or 1 week or something.
It's awesome.
100% my fault, but not my fault at all. What were we talking about before you maybe explain that?
I don't know. I just like talking. You're
just starting the trolling.
I'm just here to catch up with you
before you freaking blow blew it entirely. But no, tell me what's most exciting for the fans right now. What should we be looking forward to?
It's been like a little over 2 years since we put out the album, like our last one, and so we've been writing for this one for quite a while. I think that it's got a totally different vibe, but I think it's still us. I think the songs, I think the first album like carried over on recording, and this album's going to carry over at the live shows. Like I think it'll be, I think that's where the songs will kind of go. I think that just comes naturally from playing live a lot more. I think when we recorded the first album, we hadn't even played live yet. So
well, that's weird. That's cool though.
Yeah, we kind of did it backwards. Like
I see people doing that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, we just wanted to like, I don't know. That was kind of our approach to this whole project in the beginning. Was like, be a little more prepared before you go out there. Like you don't want people to do that. Oh yeah, that band's not bad. They'll be good. Like with a little more practice, or like, maybe a year from now. But then like you only have like one first impression. You know what I mean? So like we wanted to make sure that we were at least like moderately ready compared to like what we had been in the past. Like you get 5 songs and you're like, we're ready for a gig. I mean you've seen like our show's just kind of grown like over the last 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's different for you guys too because you'd already done it. When I said, oh, that's weird, I thought about myself. If I would have went to record before I played a show, I would have, like my first show, I had 4 songs written.
Yeah,
and I've been playing it, so it's different. I guess I see that now.
Well, the first All About a Bubble show was like an absolute disaster. It was at Woody Stock, which is like one of my favorite events. Like it kind of quietly flies under the radar, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I've been 2 years in a row now.
I know, and like you missed the famous year where like the power went out on half the stage and Clint took over on lead vocals out of nowhere. Like,
is there a video somewhere?
Oh man, I hope not.
I hope so.
I hope not. Things ever took off, and I hope there's no evidence of that show whatsoever. And like I was playing keyboard back then, like at the shows. I don't know what we were doing. Like I really don't. So I guess we weren't as prepared as we'd hoped we would be.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing well now.
Yeah. And luckily it was rainy. There wasn't a whole lot of people there. They were inside eating barbecue. So
I just pictured. I said you guys are doing well now. And then I pictured me coming up and singing a little bit of your song with you, and watching the crowd sing your song at Cane's. That was, God, that's so cool, man. Like, I don't know. Anytime at your shows, you can see that, like just a crowd of people being pumped and knowing all your songs.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part about this band, and like even like a few of the songs like I had written before this band and tried out in other bands, and like it didn't have the response, man. Like I don't know if it was just timing or finding the right group of people to attach to it, but I mean that's kind of like at our shows, that's kind of like the thing, and I think that's why I was mentioning that like we were a little worried about this record like not being quite as like gang vocally,
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll just sing the whole song instead of those little key parts.
Yeah. Well, let's hope. I was thinking about a weird question today, and the reason I haven't asked it so far is because I don't have to answer it. But I was thinking forever about what would happen if I accidentally sent just a heart to every contact in my phone. Who would you regret getting that the most? If I stole your phone and sent a heart to every contact, just no context, just a heart, who do you think would be the most regrettable response? Isn't that a weird question? I can't even answer it. It would be an ex that I haven't talked to in years, probably.
Yeah. Man,
isn't that a weird question?
I mean, I know the answer, but I just I don't even want to waste the breath on her name. If I'm being honest with you, you know what I mean.
So it's an ex.
So yeah,
or
clearly.
a thing. Yeah,
or a thing. I mean,
I almost asked that on Facebook, then I thought it was too weird.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think it'd be kind of funny to see the response, like especially if you do it in somebody else's phone.
Yeah,
then you can always have the backup. Like, I would have never fucking sent you a heart, you heartless.
Here's a heart because you didn't have one before.
Perfect.
Thought you needed one.
Yes,
that's great, man.
You're missing this.
Well, good, man. I'm so glad you came to hang out on my podcast. We tried this once before, but I was too bad at podcasting, so I'm glad you came back and gave it another shot.
I'm pretty bad at podcast.
Thanks a lot. Allaboutabubble.com. All About a Bubble on everything.
Yeah.
Instagrams, Instagram them.
Yeah, for some reason that name just wasn't taken. Like, such a solid band name.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming over, dude.
I'm glad I got to.
Bye.